What's good everyone, peace and blessings to all. Sabre here from APS and welcome to another episode. And this video, we're going to talk about architecture as usual, and specifically in Shoreditch. When I was going around doing a photo walk, I want to share with you some interesting architecture that I came across. Now the buildings I'm going to feature are the ones that appeal to me personally, and I started off at Old Street Station, walked towards Nobu Hotel. So the Nobu Hotel is designed by Ben Adams Architects. It was finished in 2017 and it houses a hotel, some luxury apartments and a Japanese restaurant. Now the Japanese restaurant makes sense and it kind of brings together the theme of the building. You can see it's inspired by Japanese architecture. The location of the building is quite interesting. It's at a junction where the road splits into two and it gives an opportunity for an active frontage. Now they made the most out of this by making the building look like it's been cut diagonally from the front. That was quite a cool feature. It allows you to see the materials exposed and maybe get a feel for how the building was constructed. In contrast, it looks nice next to the side elevation, which has been finished very tidy and minimal. So they've kind of balanced the two. Moving along down a narrow street, I came across the frames, which is designed by Squire & Partners, and it was finished in 2018. I like the finishes used on the facade of this building. You have Core 10 steel surrounds around the windows, and in between it seems like they're brick slips with a nice brick texture. My favorite bit of the building are the upper floors. The architects have designed this well by making it seem like it's only one floor up there, but there's actually two. They've set back the massing and they've also used a dark metal to make it feel smaller on the site. The consistent use of metal is on the window frames and also the decorative solar shading. Moving towards Liverpool Street now, I came across Principal Place, which is designed by Foster & Partners. It's a modern building finished in all black metal. It's not got a lot of drama to it. It seems to be a lot of typical details on it, but the main reason it stood out for me is because it sits next to the Broadwalk House, which is a pale terracotta building. Now this was built in the 1980s, so it's a bit older, but there are some interesting prominent line joints around the building, and also there are some tall bay windows. These windows seem quite domestic. It gives a domestic feel to it in the site, especially because everything else around is very corporate and it's a bit boring in terms of facade design, very flat. So there's a bit of protrusion going on with these bay windows. Ending it at Liverpool Street, specifically 100 Liverpool Street, is a refurbished office building which also has some retail spaces on the lower floors. This was designed by Hopkins Architects and was shortlisted for Sterling Prize. It didn't win, but I can see why it was shortlisted. It's a nice building. It's definitely a lot better than what it was before. The previous building, I'll show you an image now, it seemed quite outdated, and I think the developers wanted to create a building that was going to inspire the activity of loads of people flowing through Liverpool Street. And I think they've done that, especially around the retail area. There's an interesting use of curved glass around the building, and that sets back on the upper floors to help reduce the perception of the massing because it is a huge building. Another feature that I liked was in the details. In between the mullions, there's a metal fin that slightly protrudes out, and that kind of helps add some articulation in addition to the curved glass and the setbacks. Otherwise the building would just feel too heavy. It needed that little bit of detail. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to share some more architecture around Shoreditch that appealed to me, smaller scale to the ones featured in this video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. As usual, I'm going to share a montage of the photos I captured on the day, but before we get into it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a comment on your thoughts on the buildings featured, and I'll see you in the next one.